What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the State of the WWE, episode number 20. That's right, baby. We are on episode 20. 20, baby. What are you going to do when we throw 20 of the State of the WWEs at you guys? Bear with me, of course, because my throat is still messed up. I'm still sick, but we're doing it. I'm here with Chris Tosevich. What's going on?
What is up?
It's been like 2 weeks since we did one of these. I'm eating sherbet.
Sherbet.
Sorbet.
No, it's sorbet. It's something different.
I'm retarded. So, let's first of all, WrestleMania 30 isn't sold out yet. There are 9,916 of the 55,000 tickets. They're up for sale right now, so those are all people that have already bought the tickets, but those sales are up. I mean, technically, doesn't that mean it's sold out, though?
No.
Really?
Because they have to make sure the asses get in the seats.
Okay. All right, I get you. See, I thought they could do it with the Red... Maybe I'm just used to the Red Sox. As long as they sell the tickets, even if it's to their own broker. They're like, it's sold out. Whether people actually sit in the seats or not, it don't matter.
Right.
To the Red Sox, that is. Nosebleed seats are going for $46.90. I'd rather be at home watching on TV. I mean, the only way I would go to it is if it was like $10 and it was like in right up the road or something.
In your backyard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, because I'd rather enjoy it at home. I mean, why would you want to watch it from that far away? But I guess, you got to go, whatever. When I'll go to one of those is like when I don't give a shit too much, and I'll just be like, I just want to say I went there. But I guess it doesn't matter since I went to WrestleMania 14, so what the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, you've already had did you go to Access?
I didn't, and it was awesome, I heard. I wasn't able to go.
You blew it.
I missed Shawn Michaels getting hit in the head with a battery.
You fucking blew it.
The DX Public Workout in Boston, Faneuil Hall, WrestleMania 14. Man, what was I doing?
What were you doing? I'm disappointed.
I don't know. Guys, I want to thank Conan the other day for being on the show, calling out that bitch ass. All signs point to DDP being on with me. I'm going to be doing an interview with him tomorrow, I believe. So if you have questions for DDP, you want to send them to me at Joe Cronin Show at yahoo.com. Go over to joecroninshow.com. Send them to me any way you can. You can tweet them at me if you really want to, but the best way is to email them to me that way. That way I can ask them those questions. I'll ask them whatever you want. Just give me the questions. Assuming everything goes well. Click the like button on all the videos. Put that thumb where the sun don't shine. Make sure to subscribe. And let's. What do we think here? I watched an argument with the Bruce Blitz the other day that he had with one of his listeners or co-hosts, or I don't know what his whole deal is over there. I catch him here and there. But he had an argument. He was like, Cena sucks. Cena sucked in that match. Cesaro carried that whole match. And then he was asked if it was a decent one. And he said it wasn't a decent match. It was not a decent match.
That's insanity.
And he got in a huge argument with his buddy because he was like, no, you are fucking crazy. He's like, how can you say that's not... He's like, I know we shit on Cena, but that was good. And, I mean, I think the dude is just saying shit to piss people off.
Yeah, that's a troll move because that match was... It wasn't a 5-star match. It's not going to go in any best of the year lists or anything like that, but it was the best part of Raw, and it was a solid match. And Cesaro didn't carry it. It was... I mean, granted, yes, he was a big part of it, but he was 50%. Without John Cena there to sell the moves and put him over, you don't have a full match. And he did just that. He sold the moves and put him over. Granted, yes, there were some mild missteps here and there, like when John Cena rolled over him and tried to pick him up for the attitude adjustment. It was a little slower than it probably should have been, or as John Cena would have liked it to be, but it looked fine. And it was, like I said, it added a spice to it where he couldn't just pick up Cesaro and give him an AA. He did that once and Cesaro flipped out of it. He needed to match Cesaro's strength or best his strength in order to win the match. And he did that. He rolled over him and picked him up from a deadlift, gave him an AA, 1, 2, 3. How is that terrible? It's not terrible.
Right. No, if you were to give it like see, I would give it like, if you would say, well, you give that a perfect rating, you couldn't give it a perfect rating because there was a couple things here or there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a, I don't know, 7 or 8 out of 10 match for
3.5 to 4 stars. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's close. If not for the botches, it would have been even, it would have been a whole lot better. There's a few.
It could have been
hiccups.
a 4-star match ideally, and it was the 3.5-star match. How's that? How can you complain about that?
Yeah, and that's above decent. 3 is decent.
Especially if you hate Cena, that's above decent.
Yeah, we don't like him here. I mean,
I don't hate him,
but I mean, recently I've been giving him a lot of. I give him credit where it's due, even if even if I'm mad, or even if I'm sick of him. That's what it is. I don't really hate him. I'm sick of him.
Yeah,
that's all it really comes down to. So for him to say that it was decent, it wasn't even decent. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Man, I'm sick. And moving on, let's get into, I guess we got Elimination Chamber coming up, so this is going to get exciting. We got Sunday, Elimination Chamber, that's going to be exciting. And then the next night, of course, the Raw that we've been waiting for. And then we get into this lead up to WrestleMania. Here we go. Get amped. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be, that the Wyatts is going to be the match of the night, that's going to steal the show, the Wyatts versus the Shield.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could definitely see it. I don't know if I buy into that yet. I think even though we all pretty much pick Randy Orton to win, there's still something about that Elimination Chamber where you're not really sure.
Right. Something's up. It's not going to end in a clean, easy victory for any of the superstars involved. Something's going to shock us. We're not just going to see Randy Orton win. If Randy Orton wins, something crazy needs to happen to allow that to happen because of how they've been booking him as vulnerable by losing all of his matches except to Christian.
You think
so?
You
know what I mean?
Why, to get him more heat that like this guy's been sucking it up and now he's still won?
It wouldn't make any sense for him to lose every match except to Christian. And keep in mind, Sheamus didn't pin him, but Sheamus won via disqualification. So he won 4 out of 5 matches. Yet at the pay-per-view, he's going to walk away the champion. He's just going to win. No, something needs to happen to counteract the fact that all these people are substantially better than him in one-on-one competition. Something fishy needs to happen. There's no other way around it.
A lot of people were saying
Christian, someone else wins.
Well, a lot of people were saying Christian was going to turn heel and be something was going to happen with him.
He's going to be an inside man, you think?
Or that he was just going to win.
No. No.
I mean, I think
if Christian wins, I don't know what I would do. I would be shocked.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Triple H and Steph picked Christian instead or whatever. And then Christian was
nothing against Christian. He's a great wrestler, and I
don't think that this is going to happen. I mean, I think it's ridiculous, kind of. And even if it did happen, it'd be kind of ridiculous. It could be genius too. I don't know.
It would create a situation in too many cooks. I think same with Cesaro, where I want Cesaro to win, but he shouldn't because it would create too many cooks for Daniel Bryan / Batista / Randy Orton come WrestleMania time. Like Cesaro needs his own strong match there. And same with Christian and everyone else involved. If one of them were to win, I mean, we're already too crowded in the main event scene to plug someone else into that main event scene by winning Elimination Chamber. I don't know how they back their way out of it before Mania.
Yeah, it would be weird. All right. So, I mean, really these 2 matches have been the only thing talked about on the card. So, we have Batista versus Alberto Del Rio, which I think we all know is there to just do the job of, look at Batista, he's badass. Yep. This is
same as Lesnar, Big Show, last pay-per-view. Same idea.
Right. It's there so Batista can just squash Del Rio. Although Del Rio has already looked like a goof bag, like with his neck brace and everything. So, I mean, I don't know. It's... Who cares, really? I guess.
And Del Rio seems to be on his way out too.
And Del Rio, I didn't even make a video about that, about Del Rio possibly leaving. And it looks like he is leaving.
Yeah.
But so that match is kind of like, who cares? That's the glorified Batista. And I don't think it depends on where they are.
If Del Rio wins, I will mark out. That would be crazy.
It would be.
Especially, can you see the crowd being behind Del Rio in that match?
I'd be worried about that actually if I was WWE.
That'd be very interesting if we see that at this pay-per-view, the crowd behind Del Rio simply because he's not Batista. That would get really, really interesting real quick.
You might see that. I didn't think about that at all. That's a great point. We might see that. If the crowd continues to, how does everybody say it? Hijack the show.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, cheer for the ones they like.
Suddenly we'll have a Del Rio face turn accidentally.
Right, and then they won't want him to leave. Or the crowd won't. Then
Del Rio
he'll leave too.
Del Rio will be what Roman Reigns was at the end of the Rumble. People will be like, "You're not Batista, so fuck it.
Right.
We're gonna cheer for you."
Exactly. That's really cool. I didn't even think about that. That's got me excited now. Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Ryback and Curtis Axel in the kickoff match.
I thought they had the Usos.
They do. This is the kickoff match.
Oh, okay.
So who cares? I guess is the answer. So I think you got. You know what? I got to be honest. Well, you think if Cody Rhodes and Goldust are going to make another title run, that they would push them to win that match, but they're not going to. I would think they would actually, if Ryback and Curtis Axel are going to be some kind of tag team still, I would think you would see them win that somehow.
I don't know. I'm losing faith more and more day by day in Rybaxel, just because their name is Rybaxel, according to Michael Cole, and then
yeah. Well, look at how long 3MB stood around for. So.
Oh, but 3MB is at least corny enough to it's supposed to be corny. When he's calling people Rybaxel, he's just making a mockery of it, especially when that's not even their official name.
How about
makes it look even worse.
How about instead of Rybaxel, they just call it fucking what it is? They just call it. We don't know what the fuck to do with these guys.
Paul Heyman's rejects.
Here they come.
Paul Heyman's Island of Misfit Toys.
Paul Heyman's rejects. Here they come. Paulie's rejects. Anyway, who cares about that match? I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I'm gonna go the opposite and say that they may die in another month, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ryback and Curtis Axel win because they just need to win. What's the point in them being together? They need to maybe Cody Rhodes and Goldust, get them over or something. I don't know.
I want to see Cody and Goldust have some type of falling out in that match where one costs the other the victory to lead to their inevitable WrestleMania match.
Goldust has mentioned that is not going to happen, but so hasn't Scott Hall mentioned that he's not going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So
yeah, and I'm going to mention that it is. So we'll see who's right in the long run.
Right, man. I sound terrible, and it feels terrible to talk. I gotta say.
Who did you say you sounded like earlier?
Scott Farrell from CBS Radio.
No, the other one.
Oh, earlier today I'm trying to put this deep voice on, but really if I talk normal, this is what I sound like. Like this is what I sound like if I'm just trying to talk. That's actually what my voice, really, this is serious. To make this voice, I'm like straining to make this deep voice. But really, I sound like that, which is like Marty McFly in Back to the Future too, like Marty McFly Jr. Like, no, Griff, I don't think so. I should ask my father. I gotta talk to my father. Oh man, Gramps. Fucking Griff. Oh man, why is that movie so epic? That scene, the whole thing. Oh man. Anyway, Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. What happened to these guys?
Titus O'Neil all the way. He's hilarious lately, and he's really good on the mic. He's like the Rock 2.0 when the Rock first started being ridiculous backstage with the announcers.
Do you think Darren Young and him splitting up has something to do with Darren Young coming out?
Nope. Apparently, Titus has been begging them for months, saying, "Let me turn on Darren Young. Give me a heel run, please. Let me turn heel." And then finally, they granted it to him.
You know what? I mean, like, not that I don't think that they should have done this, and not that I don't think that, this was coming eventually.
Right.
But I am a little bit shocked that, they got some of their biggest reactions over the last year. and I thought maybe more was to come. But before it really continued on going, it's been shut down. So I think that's a little weird, but
Well, you got to think
guess they
if
continue to roll
they
with-
even had that in mind, then wouldn't it be a little distasteful to say, "Oh, the guy who came out, we're going to let him get his revenge on his former partner by ripping his clothes off in the ring."
well, why didn't they I'm surprised they didn't use that angle, but I'm sure they didn't want to go there.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's not even they're not even considering that. That would make that really distasteful if they were considering that as part of the angle.
You
I'm
know
pretty
what,
sure
though?
that's not even.
There's so much with WWE in my mind for what they've done in the past. That's not even. It's actually logical to me that something like that would happen. Like they're in the and then you're touching on it. Like well, whatever. They don't want to touch it. Is what it is. That's the answer.
Yeah.
They don't want to touch it.
Right.
Even if it's a positive message, it doesn't seem right.
Not even the tip. They don't even want to touch the tip. See how it feels.
Don't want to catch any of that leakage.
Nope.
So, I mean, what do you think? Titus wins this thing? I mean,
Yeah, Titus wins and continues on as a crazy monster heel. And a funny one at that. He's hilarious backstage.
right. Titus O'Neil, I like what they're doing with it, though. But I feel like poor Darren Young, I feel like he's going to get buried. Like, he's the Marty Jannetty, basically.
Yeah, maybe, but I still think he has a future because of how talented he is in the ring. But I mean, Titus O'Neil recently reminded me of a Rock promo I saw recently where he's backstage with someone, I forget who, but he starts his promo by saying, "The Rock is here." Then he looks at whoever's next to him and goes, $40 shirt. And then he just turns to the camera and continues on with his promo. But he just makes a point to go, $40 shirt. Completely downplay the guy's wardrobe and then just move on and completely ignoring what he just said for like the remainder of the promo.
That's awesome. That's funny. I didn't think about that. Oh man, that's funny.
The Rock was so fucking funny back in the day, and it's hard to remember him because of how angry we get with him lately. But like when you go back and watch the old Rock promos, you remember why he is where he is and how famous he got and how quickly he became famous.
Oh yeah, he'd shred people. Although I still like him now I still like his promos, most of his promos from recent ones, but I think we're just talking about the spotlight that
his promos were kind of funny, but they got like a real homophobic real quick. And not that that's not funny sometimes, but like he kind of just rode on that with John Cena the entire feud. Where he was just like, "You're gay, you're a girl," the whole time.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying.
Instead of before when he would make fun of people for like how much money they make or just for being dorky or being shitty or he could have gone through like a million different angles and he just chose one the entire time.
Well, it was the most important one is what it was.
That's true.
I will never
deal
forget.
with Fruity Pebbles.
I was trying to like write something down or do something I'll never forget, man. And he's in front of his like trophy case of WWE belts and everything. The Rock is back to scratch a major itch. So enjoy your Fruity Pebbles, you yabba dabba bitch. Like that was the greatest thing I had heard in a while.
That's true.
I just killed my voice by doing that. But it was great. Whew, don't do that again. So Titus O'Neil, I agree with you. I think he's gonna win. Intercontinental Champion Big E versus Swagger. I'm gonna go with Big E on this one.
100%.
Right, but it's gonna be. I think it could be a good match.
I could see it ending in a disqualification or something stupid too, so Swagger doesn't look weak, especially after he won that Fatal 4-Way.
That's not a bad idea. You don't want him to look weak. Man, my throat, fucking holy hell. This is one day I'm gonna hear this. I'm gonna be like, what's wrong with my voice? I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm sick. World Heavyweight Championship match, the Elimination Chamber match, of course. Oh, let's do the Shield and the Wyatts first. I think, we're really leading up to the demise of the Shield here, of course.
Not yet.
But I am a little bit skeptical because I feel like the Shield can function while still having turmoil. They're pulling it off well, at least. But WrestleMania's coming. If they're going to have match against each other somehow, which I don't see really as much, but I'd like to.
Could you see at this Elimination Chamber event one of either the Wyatt family or the Shield turning on their team and joining the other to lead to them dissecting that team from the inside out. For instance, say
Jesus
Bray
Christ.
Wyatt turns on Luke Harper and Eric Rowan and joins the Shield, but then over the next couple of weeks, you see Bray Wyatt prying the Shield apart, pitting themselves against each other, and dismantling the team from the inside.
What the hell did you just say? No, I'm just kidding. I heard everything you said. That is crazy. That is really cool. And
It could go the other way too. Like for
Right.
instance, you could have Seth Rollins join the Wyatt family, then you find out Seth Rollins was a spy and he basically pitted the Wyatt family against each other, and then
you're
you
getting
can go
into
either
some-
way with it.
what are we writing for TNA? This is really out there. No, I think that's way too complicated and crazy.
Yeah,
It
it would be cool though.
That's a really cool idea, and holy fuck, man, I never would have thought of that. You could have been like, give me 15 different things that could happen. That never would have crossed my mind. But that's cool. I think it's as simple as one wins, the other doesn't, or one wins and the other implodes. And obviously, the one that will implode will be the Shield. So either the Shield's going to break up or they won't. That's it. I don't think anything else. People aren't switching sides to intravenously dissect the other ones or whatever the fuck you just said.
Well, Daniel Bryan could have done it when he joined the Wyatts.
He
A lot
kinda
of people
did.
were speculating that he was going to join the Wyatts and break them up. So I mean, it's not too far fetched.
You're right, but they're playing on this whole Shield breaking up thing too much that it's either that or they're not going to break up. I don't see this other,
Right.
Going into the Matrix thing that you were talking about. But it was really cool. I mean, I'm just going to keep fucking shitting on it because I think it's crazy. But it was a great idea, though, I think. Holy hell, though. You talking? The writers are fucking treating us like we're dumbasses as it is. I mean, holy fucking couldn't even remember Big Show had
I'm
an
just trying to have fun
ironclad
with it.
contract, and you're thinking about dissecting like algorithms over here.
It's sad that that's considered too far fetched for the WWE.
It
but I just
is.
give up.
It is sad because
Because in the Attitude Era, things that far fetched to happen. Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Come on, things way more far fetched
you know
to
what?
happen.
You know who used to do stuff like that was Vince McMahon would come up with those things. The
Vince
only
Russo.
the only difference is and Vince and McMahon. But the
Yeah.
only thing about the things is when a lot of times Vince's versions of those things turned out to piss you off because there was all that stuff worked. The
I am the
intravenous-
higher power. It was
Exactly.
me all along.
Exactly. Tons of stuff. There's tons of examples like that where at the end
Yeah.
you were just like, what the fuck? All that build up, all that twist and turn, and that's the ending? What the hell was that about? But the whole
Exactly.
time you were interested and caught up, but then the ending was like, what the what the hell did I just watch? And the higher power would probably be example 1, maybe 2. There's another one though that I remember I just heard of. And I went, oh yeah, holy shit. I forgot all about that. And then the dude who was shooting on Vince or whoever was talking about it was like, yeah, that was all Vince. Vince was like, no, we're fucking doing this. And everybody was like, all right, I don't think that, they need to know. And he was like, fuck up. Fuck, shut up. We're doing this. I don't know if that's what he really said, but we're doing this. We're doing it this way, and this is the way I want to do it. I just lost your video, by the way. And now everybody knows your phone number.
Oh, great.
Let me see if I can...
I think that was my Skype number anyway.
Oh, you're back. Okay. No, I don't think it really flashed. I'm not really sure. Anyway, all right, let's get... So we're doing State of the WWE 20 and predictions here. I didn't realize I was doing that, but we're doing it. Because I'm so sick, I might not make it to the next video. And I have to have a voice to talk to DDP tomorrow. I mean, come on.
That's true.
All right. Oh, we got... They tell you... Oh, yeah, I did tell you that. Jay Lethal will be. We'll talk to Jay, too, at some point.
That's awesome. Can't
Also...
wait.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a couple other guys too we got, and we'll figure that out later. I'll announce it later once it's finalized, as they say. But hey, you guys talking about get interviews and get people, so here we go. Get ready. And DDP is my most sought after number one for an interview, just based on everything he's done. And funny enough, look at what's happening.
I can't wait.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the Elimination Chamber. I know we're not on our game right now because I'm kind of sick, but I'm trying.
And failing.
And failing. But no, I think we had some funny. We had this is a pretty good show right now. I think. Or listen to just if you don't like this, just listen to our Iron Sheik video.
Yeah.
Sheamus, Randy Orton. Give me. I'll tell you what. This is 6 guys, right? Give me your list of the 6 guys in order of probability of an Elimination Chamber win. Sheamus, Christian, Randy Orton, Cena, Cesaro, Bryan. What do you think? I mean, who do you think? I don't. That's not my order. Those are the guys that are in it.
I would say most likely Randy Orton, but through shenanigans. And then secondly, Daniel Bryan, which is what I would hope for, but I put that second in likelihood. So Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan. Who else we got here? Then I say Antonio Cesaro, but still very, very unlikely. And then I don't know. Do I have to keep going? I don't think it really matters.
No, I don't think it matters then. So, who's the last guy though? Who is the guy you just
Christian?
Right.
He's not eliminated first necessarily. That might be the most likely, but I don't. Christian winning it, no, least likely.
So
maybe he might even make it to second just to throw everyone off.
So are you saying that you wouldn't see it coming? Is what you're saying?
If Christian wins, I would be aghast. That's the best way.
You would have gas.
I would have violent gas.
Okay. I would say, but that's the kind of thing WWE would do though. Like, fucking Christian. He wins.
No, he's not winning.
No. Okay.
Maybe he might even surprise me and be second to last.
You know,
he's not gonna.
If I knew for sure that it was Undertaker Brock, which probably is gonna be Undertaker Brock, and what Sting was doing, I'd be able to pick this better. But I mean, it seems like Cena. What happened to Cena Wyatt? I mean, they really kind of the Wyatts attacked Cena and all that stuff, but that all went away. So recently,
Cena's supposed to supposedly face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Right. So you wouldn't think Cena would win.
I could see Cena being eliminated first to throw everyone off.
I don't know.
Or Randy Orton eliminated first. If Randy Orton was eliminated first, that'd be the craziest thing since Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka versus Taz, when Taz lost the ECW title by being eliminated first in the 3-way dance. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. You're right. That was nuts. What if Randy and Daniel Bryan were eliminated for early? That'd
be crazy. I would be infinitely more interested in the entire pay-per-view if that were to happen at the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that would be wild. But then I'd be worried Cena was going to win. I mean, you know what? Isn't it kind of a fail no matter what happens? Because honestly, it is a fail no matter what happens. Because do I want to see
unless Bryan wins?
Well, but do I really want to see Daniel Bryan go into WrestleMania with the title? I wanted to see him.
Kinda.
I wanted to see him win it at WrestleMania.
Right, but second best, he goes in and wins by defending it. You think he's going to get screwed at WrestleMania, and he doesn't get screwed, wins, and proves himself. Still works, just not as great.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, why'd they mess it up like this? But anyway, I guess it makes it more realistic.
Or we could just have Batista win it at Mania. So is that any better? I'd rather have Daniel Bryan go in and defend it rather than Batista.
Maybe Batista would win it at WrestleMania, and then he's the heel. But then again, Bryan once again gets screwed and continues on his way of screw jobs.
Stop it.
Because maybe Batista gets more heat than Orton, which he might. Right.
Have Vicky Guerrero win the World Heavyweight title. If you want heat, just go from there.
Or have her as Batista's manager too. Sheamus would get a lot of heat, I think, if he won. I feel like any of them, whoever wins is, well, put it this way. Think of this. Whoever wins, other than Bryan, is going to get the most heat, I think. Right? I mean, maybe Cesaro.
Cesaro, yeah. I think people would be so shocked.
People would have to make a decision.
And they would just appreciate WWE going off on a weird tangent. I think that they would just be like, "Oh, bravo, WWE! Like we never really Cesaro. You're gonna do that? Okay, fine. Well, we the people, let's do it. You know."
It would also
just like what?
It would explain why he had such an awesome match against Cena.
Yeah, I mean, it would just explain everything. Where it would just be like the fans want something that's just not cookie cutter. And Cesaro winning would be like so out in left field, where it'd be like, you know what? We appreciate the fact that, holy shit, you really did. Like when Daniel Bryan won Money in the Bank, no one expected that to happen. And then he won Money in the Bank, and people were like, really? You did give it to Daniel Bryan? What is he going to be, the first one to lose? This has to be a joke. And then he cashed in on the big show and he won the World Heavyweight title. But the point is, like, it'd be that surprising where they're like, you know what, this is serious. This is WrestleMania time.
Right.
We're all arguing about who it's going to be, Batista or Daniel Bryan or Randy Orton or John Cena. And then Cesaro out of left field wins the title. Maybe he'll lose it the next night on Raw, whatever. But the point is just to have him walk away with that belt and shake everything up like that, I think the fans would appreciate the move. And therefore, he's the only other person aside from Bryan who wouldn't draw heat by winning.
And I also think they've backed off a little bit because, like we said, we wanted Bryan to go up for the title, and so to have him win it,
right?
You know, but I don't know. But you're right. I think they'd have to make a decision right there. Like, shit, are we gonna boo and be mad that it's not Daniel Bryan, or are we gonna be like, or holy shit, look, Cesaro won?
Yeah, Cesaro is just Daniel Bryan, just in a different context. He's an indie guy. He's from the same. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro have had numerous matches in Ring of Honor. Like they're good friends. They know each other. They know each other inside and out, and they're cut from the same cloth. You know, there's really not much difference between them when it comes to intensity and their roots and everything else involved. So if Cesaro wins, how could anyone boo it? As much as they love Daniel Bryan, Cesaro embodies everything else Daniel Bryan also embodies. You know,
right? I'd love to see them against each other too.
That'd be like trying to choose between CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Cesaro is on the same level, in my opinion.
Right. Well, it could happen, and I gotta say, if they do Randy Orton versus Batista, which is just for the title, that match will go down as sleep time.
Sleep time.
You will.
You're right.
You'll hashtag. I'm telling you right now, if they have that match.
Hashtag ZZZZ.
Right. Everybody start tweeting Twitter. Fucking hashtag sleep time. Or hashtag triple Z's. I don't know. What do you want to do? And see if WWE advertises that that's fucking trending now.
Go to sleep is trending and CM Punk's not here.
Time to go to bed is trending on Twitter. I wonder why that is. Oh, Randy Orton is facing Batista for the WWE title. That's why.
No one would give a fuck. I mean, I almost stopped watching the Twice in a Lifetime John Cena versus The Rock Part 2. I didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever.
No, you were done. You were done.
I don't care.
It was the same thing as the first one almost.
Right. And the first one was at least once in a lifetime.
Can we talk about those 3 pay-per-views? I mean, it's clear that WWE almost doesn't care because you had The Miz and Cena.
I liked that match.
I actually did like it because of the dynamic of everything.
Yeah.
But nobody else does really.
No.
Nobody likes it.
It's not a popular match.
It got crapped on and The Rock came out and it was a weird thing.
Yeah.
And then the next year it's The Rock and Cena, which was it was all right, but not really. It was people were tired. Then the next year
I enjoyed myself during that match because I was like, you know what? I hated it up until the bell rang. And then I was like, you know what? I'm interested. They got me. You know, like I was surprised. And I was like, you know what? I really kind of do care about this match. You know what?
I did.
I really kind of want The Rock to lose because John Cena really is here every week. And The Rock kind of is a special guest. And I don't want him to walk away the victor. And I was kind of happy with the outcome.
I will say I did want.
Actually, no, I was pissed off by the outcome. The Rock won the first one, right?
Yeah, I did want Rock to win though. I gotta say because I'm just sick of Cena. So I was like, I don't anybody come in and beat him, fine. I don't care.
But it's like saying like I'm sick of Cena, so I want The Rock. That's like saying I'm sick of Cena, so I want Triple H. It's really you want the last person.
No,
it's
not.
Sick
It's
of
not
because...
it's not like saying that because this this guy came back who hadn't been here for a while, who was hilarious. And
But he came back saying, "I'm going to be here every week. You missed me. Well, here I am." And then he took like 5 weeks off and then showed up for his match.
You know what it is? I guess I never believed when he said that. I was like, what does that mean? He's not coming back.
Exactly, but it was just an asshole thing to say.
I guess so, but I just never believed it, so it didn't bother me that much. I guess other people really took it for real, and I was like, no, he's not coming.
Well, I wasn't like, oh, Rock, you didn't come back every week. I expected you to. I was just like, from the beginning, I was like, that's bullshit. That's a bullshit thing to say. You're an asshole. And then I was right. When he didn't come back every week, I was like, yeah, exactly. That was a bullshit thing to say. You were an asshole.
Right. I got you. I mean, fucking, I don't know. I just knew I just was like, oh, he's not coming back. Big whoop. I don't care. He came out. He called him Fruity Pebble ass. Yabba Dabba bitched him. I laughed my ass off. I haven't laughed like that in years.
The first one,
Just like I cheered for Brock Lesnar when he came back. Same thing as The Rock. Brock Lesnar came back, did the same thing. How come you're not mad at Brock Lesnar?
Because Brock Lesnar came back and said, I just want to hurt people and be the champion. You can't hurt people. You can't be the champion. All right, then I'm out of here. All right, well, you can hurt people. All right, then I'm coming back. All right, you might be able to be the champion. Then I'll come back. All right, you can't do either. All right, then I'm out of here. Yeah, he's very honest and straightforward, like a robot, where it's like, can I hurt people? No. Can I be the champion? Maybe. Then I'll come back. Can I hurt people? Maybe. Can I be the champion? No. Then I'll come back. But if it's no to either, he's not there. And that's all he ever says in his promos. I either want to hurt people or be the champion. That's it. If I have a chance of doing either, I'm here. If I'm not, I don't give a shit. All I care about is the money and the violence.
Well, my point is that I was entertained when Brock Lesnar's music hit and he came out and kicked Cena's ass.
And he kicked his hat across the ring.
Then he kicked his hat. Then he cut the promo about Cena was going to piss his pants.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was great.
And that's what The Rock kind of gave me. And that's why I cheered against Cena. Because I'm just sick of Cena. I'm just sick of it. Just like I cheer against most of those guys because of Daniel Bryan. Just like I would cheer against Triple H for Daniel Bryan.
But The Rock
when I used to be a big Triple H fan.
Title streak. Someone else should have.
The Rock, wait a minute, what?
The Rock should not have beat CM Punk's title streak. Someone else should have. Do you agree with that at least?
Oh, yeah. There's no reason. Cena can be beaten because Cena will be Cena. But to take it from CM Punk...
That streak, too, it doesn't even matter who it was. The fact that streak was that big, and to give it to The Rock, a temporary, why not give it to the next big thing, whoever that was at the time?
Right. Or just... either way, you're right. For The Rock... That was disappointing. In fact, I forgot about that. But and they didn't need the belt. There's the real thing is they didn't need the belt.
Right.
Rock versus Cena can happen, and they didn't need the belt. But maybe they
could have had Rock versus CM Punk for the belt, and then it ended at WrestleMania. Fine, give them the main event at WrestleMania.
Or they wanted to pump up the WWE title. I mean, I don't know if they wanted to do that, and that was the reason. I understand that then. I guess they had to sacrifice Punk to make the title more important, but...
yeah, I don't know. Disappointing.
Anyway. All right, guys. I think we're done. Hopefully the pay-per-view is good. Live right here after WWE Elimination Chamber. Live on my other channel, I think. We should be able to go live from my channel by WrestleMania. We'll see, hopefully, or I'll go to Google and hurt somebody. But youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show, live after WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber will be live from youtube.com/Spectrum Gaming 617, and of course from our Ustream channel and all over the other place, Twitch TV, on the podcast shows, and on JoeCroninShow.com. Click the like button and stick the thumb up my ass. Go down and leave your comments below. What do you think is going to happen at Elimination Chamber? I want to hear your predictions and your thoughts so I can read them, ponder them, and maybe you'll call it. Maybe you'll call the pay-per-view. Maybe you're Nostradamus. I don't know.
Take a sip of that pussy.
Jesus, how'd you remember that joke from before we started about an hour ago? Wow. I knew you were going to sneak that in there, too. I was thinking that was going to come out. My voice sounds terrible, man.
We were talking about it earlier, and I had to sneak it in at some point.
I look like a wreck, too. You can tell I'm sick. I look like I'm fucking, like I'm just, like whatever. That I tore these boxes open. There's boxes laying around everywhere. Kid stuff. I got things everywhere. I got to revamp this studio here so we can set it up. Anyway, all right, guys. State of the WWE. We're done. Number 20. Number 20. Remember WrestleMania 20? I don't. It sucked. Now, It was okay.
Was that Brock versus Goldberg?
No, that was was it? Maybe it was. I keep thinking that's the one where he did the flip, but that was
No. Oh yeah, it might have been that. I don't remember.
when he almost broke his neck and headbutted Kurt Angle in the ribs. I think he planned it in the ribs, heads.
I don't think that's true at all.
No, you
he
know
has a really good shooting star press.
No, you know what? That was the Stone Cold one, wasn't it? Fucking Goldberg. Right? We can't just leave here
I'm checking.
until we find out. All the WrestleMania.
No, it wasn't either of those things. It was Guerrero fought Kurt Angle.
Right.
Benoit beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Undertaker beat Kane. Oh yeah, Goldberg Lesnar. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jesus Christ, you scared me. I was like, we're really that crazy?
No. I was right. You were crazy, so it's fine.
Okay. I am crazy though. You're right. That part is right.
John Cena beat Big Show in the first match of the night.
I do remember that he came out with his chains.
He won the U.S. title.
You're right. And didn't he he picked Big Show up to do the AA or whatever, and it was crazy.
F you at the time.
Oh, the big fuck you, yeah.
The fuck yourself is what he used to call his finisher.
Remember when he was? That's when you know what? I got to be honest. Man, I watched every WrestleMania, but between WrestleMania, I think 20 and 20, between 20 and 22, I didn't watch.
Yeah.
The television programming. Although no, 22 I did. Like the last 3 or 4 months leading into WrestleMania 22, I did watch.
20 was the last one I watched.
22 was great. Let me tell you, if we could go back real quick, here's a fucking fast forward for us. WrestleMania 22 was awesome because I'd started watching again regularly, and it started to get a little edgy, and they started to play on Triple H with this background, and Cena's the new school guy and all this crap.
Oh, is that the one with the tournament?
And then no, and Triple H versus Cena at the main event.
Okay.
And the crowd was awesome. Cheering. All of it. Triple H was supposed to be the heel. Triple H was the champion. He was supposed to be the heel. And it was just awesome, man. Their entrances were really cool. Triple H came out for the first time to that new music, the King of Kings music.
Oh yeah.
Dressed like Conan, Barbarian. Not the wrestler we had on here the other day.
Not Conan O'Brien.
And not Conan O'Brien either. And not people used to call me Conan because my name's Cronin. So people used to be like, "Hey, what's up? Call me Conan." But the crowd was like fucked up because Triple H is supposed to be this big heel, but no, half the crowd, maybe a little more, maybe half or more than half or something like that, was screaming for Triple H, and it was all messed up. And JR was like, "Oh, you never know how the crowd's gonna be at WrestleMania. Some kind of nostalgia here." And really, Triple H was getting heat. There was no chance he was getting heat for the whole rivalry for months. There was no doubt. Okay, the people are on Cena's side, no doubt. Triple H was doing all the heel stuff, doing it right, seemed all right. And then WrestleMania came, and it was like, nope, Triple H. And then Shawn Michaels had this great match against Vince McMahon, did the fucking elbow drop off this huge ladder, did the suck it sign. And, man, and that was at the end of the match, too, so the match was awesome. Then he does the suck it sign, and I don't know, I shot up out of my seat, and JR's
awesome.
JR's building it up, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen this side of Shawn Michaels in a long time. He said he'd never act like this again, he'd never go back to this place again. And then you could see Shawn was acting a little bizarre, and then he did the suck it. It was like, holy shit, I haven't seen that in how long. And then in Triple H's match, for the crowd to be so backing Triple H, but also there was still that core of Cena fans there too. And then Triple H, the match is getting more intense, and then Triple H gave Cena the suck it, and the crowd went nuts. And it was like, oh,
awesome.
Shit. Like, what does this mean? Why are they going to... And they teased it for a month or two later or whatever it was. And then they finally got back together as DX again. It was great. What a great time that was. And it's so weird because even then I thought this was a terrible time in wrestling. And, all of a sudden this little nostalgic, awesome few months happened, to feel like. Anyway, that's my WrestleMania 22 story. I still feel like WrestleMania 22 was like new. You know what I mean? Like it just happened. Like that wasn't a. I remember WrestleMania 22 thinking all the other WrestleManias still felt kind of new, and now 22 is freaking what, 8 years ago. Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
All right, guys, leave the comments below. What do you think? Elimination Chamber. We'll see you after the pay-per-view right here on youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show, or on joecroninshow.com, or on Ustream, or on Spectrum Gaming 617, whichever place you choose to watch.
Take a sip of that pussy.